With One Piece going on break next week, I decided to go ahead and make this video because I just found it pretty funny. I was remembering these times back whenever I made that Recon's Piece episode 5 where I was thinking about all the old times of me recording videos in the bathroom, right? And I remembered one time in particular where One Piece went on break. And dude, I mean that week I needed it in my life, man. Like I needed it because I think that point in time. No, never mind. Bleach didn't, because Bleach went on a really long hiatus, but that wasn't it yet. It was, I don't know, I was just craving One Piece that week, and so I decided, I said, you know what? Since One Piece is on break next week, let me go ahead and do a review for one of the old like one of the old chapters, one of the chapters that I never had a chance to do a review for in the past. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. So I went into the bathroom. I took this volume with me, man. Volume 59 into the bathroom. Now, this video in particular is on the old channel. If you guys are new to the channel, to the King_Recon channel, I used to have another YouTube account called King Recon, and in early 2013, whenever I first made my channel, it was about a couple months in. I remember it to this very day. I still think that it might be my most least viewed and least liked video. I remember I only had one like, and if it got 10 views, that was about it. But I was in the bathroom, and I remember the one comment too, by my boy Naki Shack, man, the good man, Naki the legend. But he was the only person who commented on the video, and I did that. That was the only review I ever did of like an old chapter. But it is to this very day one of my most memorable and favorite videos that I think I've ever done, just because I spent around 15 minutes in my bathroom with my camera. I opened it up right here to chapter 576, The Great Pirate Edward Newgate, and I proceeded to go page to page and review the flippin' chapter, man. Absolutely awesome sauce, and it just made me think. I was like, man, I should have done this so much earlier, because I've been reading One Piece weekly for so long. Had I done like weekly chapter reviews, because reactions didn't even exist. Live reaction didn't become a thing until Northside Z started doing it for Naruto. So like 2014, so around there, was whenever live reactions really started becoming popular. So whenever like if I would have done these videos like back then, like 2009, when all this stuff was going to Marineford, by the gods, man, can you imagine that? No, actually, no, this is 2010, because I remember chapter 574 came out in early 2010, which and I believe it was around like February. So this chapter had to come out in March. So March of 2010 was the Great Pirate Edward Newgate, man. And I'll tell you what, to this very day, it's still one of my favorite chapters in all of One Piece, period. But God, I'll never forget going through that entire chapter and just absolutely fangassing me. And I would just think back to myself, like, can you imagine, the high that I felt that week off of reading this? Because the thing is back then, the only source of the only way that I could speak to anybody about One Piece was through either the Arlong Park forums or by waiting for the One Piece podcast to upload their thing so I could listen to them. Because no one else was doing videos. No one else was doing videos. The first One Piece video I watched was a YouTube video, I should say, a review that I watched, because of course I watched like AMVs and openings and whatnot. But the first one was about 18 chapters after this, for actually 22 chapters after this. And that was for when Sawyer, when I saw his first chapter 598, and that was the first ever review I watched for any chapter. The first ever chapter review period that I ever watched was Sawyer's One Piece one, and it's just like, man, dude, like, can you, like, it really makes you think. It's like, what about if all of us, like, back then were flipping doing reviews on a weekly basis to this greatness, dude? I mean, the Great Pirate Edward Newgate. And I remember just doing that, like, long, because at that time I had a copyright strike that lasted for a year, and I couldn't make videos longer than 15 minutes, and I couldn't live stream. And you guys know me, man. You guys know how I ramble on for ages, and some of these videos go on for hours. So I was restricted to 15 minutes. 15 minutes to talk about the greatness of the great pirate Edward Newgate, man. But it's a it is a flippin' a video that I'll never forget. And like I said, it still to this day is probably my least viewed, least liked, and only one comment. And I'll never forget that one comment. That was Naki. That was the one comment. And to this very day, I'll never forget the video because I got a chance to talk about chapter 576 as if it came out, like weekly, like that week. I was like, all right, I did it the same way I was doing any of those chapter reviews at that time, which at the time the manga was in Dressrosa, so I was well, of course, because it spanned around 3 years, but yeah, like I went up in there. And I remember doing my thing, like, what's going on with King Recon here, and da-da-da. And then I went through it, like, my regular review every single week, and I actually reviewed chapter 576, man. And it was still to this day, it's one of the most awesome feelings, I think, that I've had in terms of doing YouTube, because not only did I get to speak about the awesome sauce, but I also, you know, got so many memories back to whenever I the initial experience and whatnot. But it was pretty awesome sauce, man. I can't even lie. I just want to make this video just with One Piece going on break and me remembering a lot of the stuff from the early days of me joining the community. You know, it was brought me back, man. I ain't gonna lie, that Recon Speaks episode 5, because that morning when I was driving, I mean, so many memories flooded into my head. I was like, by the gods, man, where's all this coming from? But yeah, dude, I'll never forget it, man. The One Piece, this is such a godly chapter, yo. The chapter right after Blackbeard arrives at Marineford, right? The chapter right after mother flippin' Blackbeard arrives at Marineford. And you get to see his entire squad is here, man. And it's just like, yo, and then when I saw Shiryu, bro, I was like, let's go, the time has come. And let me just skim through this a little bit, because then you have Sengoku and Blackbeard just like, you love feet, bro, and it, oh, man, Whitebeard, bro, this man, and then him and Blackbeard, they begin to duke it out. And this man, Whitebeard, is getting destroyed. I mean, his head is half off, bro. And they're all going in. Double page spread of Whitebeard's back. And all the gunshots just going completely on him. And you're like, holy Flagnars. And Blackbeard, that bastard, fill him full of lead. And then you get one of the best pages in the entire One Piece series. An entire page. And let me read this page. You're gonna die, Roja. I don't have much longer. Want me to tell you how to get to Raftail, Whitebeard? I won't go even if you tell me. Not interested in that. Do you know what the government's calling me nowadays? Gold Roger. They're wrong. My name is Gold D Roger. D. I see people with that D from time to time. There's one called Teach in my crew. What is that D thing anyway? You want to know? Then I'll tell you. That's the legendary page. And then Whitebeard says, you're not him, yo. The man Roger is waiting for is definitely not you, Teach. Just as there are some who inherited Roger's will, someone will eventually do the same for Ace. You can sever bloodlines, but their flames will never be extinguished. It has been passed down like that since ancient times. Someday one will arise who will challenge the world and shoulder centuries of history. Sengoku, you and the world government fear the great war that will come to this world one day. I'm not interested in the treasure, but when it's found, the whole world will be turned upside down. Someone will find it. That day will come. The One Piece does exist. Tetsu Zaizo. I mean, it's legendary, bro, and the way that he goes out, man, with the narration, it's one of the best chapters in One Piece. It's one of the best chapters in the entire series, and I can honestly say, even if it wasn't whenever the chapter came out, I did a review for the legendary chapter 576 when One Piece was on break one week, and that's the story of what I wanted to do when One Piece was on break one week. You know, what are your crazy stories of what you attempted to do when One Piece was on break? You know, whether it be something like this, or like have you like reread the entire series in a way? I can actually see someone rereading the entire series in 1 week. I can see someone, you know, crazy enough to do something like that. So if you've done something insane when One Piece is on break 1 week and you just can't handle it, I mean, another break story. Oh, actually, no. We'll save a couple more for the future. But this is definitely one of my favorite break stories because, I mean, it's a review of the legendary 576. This is a cool chapter. But yeah, guys, have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching Whitebeard Greatness. I'll never forget doing that video, man. You know, that old bathroom, one of these days I'm gonna have to go in there and just record again. Just for old time's sake, man. You know, except this time I'll be uploading in 720p and my video won't be shaky. Do you guys remember that, who've been here for a long time? Do you remember whenever the video used to be shaky and the things behind me like move? Like I swear you go to watch my videos and you feel like you're high. Like it was insane. But you guys been watching today, man. One Piece greatness, yo.